How's it going, Jets fans? My name is Alex with my co-host here, Ryan Moran. Jets training camp is right around the bend. Rookies are starting to filter in for some of these teams, and the regular season's getting closer and closer and closer. We got a couple of weeks. August is going to be fun. We got preseason games coming up, and just before you know it, it'll be week one, and we'll be off to the races. And hopefully, this Jets team can make an impact. But one of the guys that I wanted to discuss today, Jordan Whitehead, new free agent safety. We discussed him a couple of weeks ago, but he had some good comments that I do want to provide you guys some good details about his style and the way he kind of approaches the game, his stats from last year's contract, discuss the impact that we hope he can make in his first year wearing the green. But before we dive into Jordan Whitehead, my friend, how you doing today?
I'm doing great, Alex. So with Jordan Whitehead, he was personally at the top of my free agent wish list going into the offseason. I think with him, the main thing just watching him the last 2 years is just the attitude that he plays with. And I think the Jets defense needed that. As good of a haul as the Jets got for Jamal Adams, what they really lost in him was just a tenacity, a presence, a mindset. And I think Whitehead, I'm not saying he's as good as Jamal, but I think he brings that just same type of tenacity that this defense needs. I mean, you look at some of the performances last year, especially against the run that the Jets defense had. Not only was it abysmal, but there was no life, there was no attitude. There was just no willingness to want to stop teams. And I think Whitehead's going to bring exactly that. That's why I wanted him so bad and why I was so excited when the Jets got him. I think in zone coverage underneath, you're going to see him, really make his presence felt. I think instinctually, just being able to read and react to what's in front of him, make plays. He's a physical player, in the box. He can, make plays going sideline to sideline, get in the backfield and make plays, whether it's pressuring the quarterback, stopping the run. So to me, I'm really excited. Like I said, he was my top guy, him and Tyler Conklin, and, JD came both and got through. So I'm really excited. And, I caught his interview on the Jets website, and he definitely had some, good comments that, I'm excited to break down.
Absolutely. Well, Jordan Whitehead signed a 2-year, $14.5 million contract with an out after the 2022 season. So the Jets will basically, have a cap hit of $4.2 million this year. They can release him and only have $3 million in dead cap compared to the $10.2 million cap hit that he would count next year. So they would essentially save about $7 million, a little bit less, maybe 6.8 by cutting him next year if he doesn't end up providing that type of value the Jets are looking for. Obviously, they've had some really great safeties in Jamal Adams and Marcus May over the last couple seasons. Now you have Ashton Davis and Jordan Whitehead. So it should be interesting to see how they kind of, put together this defensive backfield, especially with the additions of Sauce Gardner, and DJ Reed and some good players there. So right off the bat, the one thing I really like about Jordan Whitehead is that he looks for contact. He's not afraid of getting into the mix, and he also is always looking to play against good teams. And that's kind of what stood out to me in terms of what he had to say against, about why he's so excited to play teams like the Saints, or the Panthers, even with really good running backs. So the thing I like about him is that he doesn't shy away from contact. He's physical and he loves to play good teams. And that's what you want. You want guys who are going to come and make big plays against really good competition, because that's ultimately how you win playoff games. And that's the long-term future of this Jets team, we hope. So this is the first comment. He said, the Bucs played in a division with the Panthers, Saints, and Falcons. My favorite was playing against Alvin Kamara and Christian McCaffrey twice a year, and every time my best games were against the Saints and the Panthers. I'd always tell myself before the game that all I want is a clean, safe shot on one of them. I had a couple of tags on them. So he's always looking to get some really good hits, rattle their bones, just at least make sure that they know he's there, and make sure that if they get to the second level, Jordan Whitehead's going to be there, laying a nice hit on them, so they don't come back and expect to be a clean run. So I think that that's a really good sign for the Jets in terms of run defense and just being very active from the safety positioning, getting into that box and making sure running backs know he exists. And that's a big sign, because you can definitely remind them of how good you are from time to time. He went on to say it's a great feeling after stopping them short. It's a good feeling. But one thing I could say about these big hits, that sometimes they hurt a bit. You have to act like they don't, celebrate a little. Then you go back to the sideline and say, I hit him, but I felt it too. So, obviously you got to be a little careful with your body and not overdo it. One thing that I actually really liked about something that Wink Martindale, the Giants defensive coordinator, said is the best way to measure a team's toughness is to see their short yardage statistics, right? You see how far back you can push the opposing offensive line. If you can stop running backs in the defensive backfield, there's a lot of things you can do to showcase good run support and run defense. But what is your initial impression takeaway from this, just knowing that Jordan Whitehead is trying to make an impact and he loves playing against good caliber teams and looks to show out against those teams specifically, and when he does, he really makes it known.
For sure. So a couple of my main points really, he's your prototypical strong safety and what you want in a guy that's going to be playing predominantly in this defense, I think in the box. I don't really think maybe in some cover three looks, he'll be the center fielder deep, but I think primarily you're going to really see him around the line of scrimmage. And that's what you need. You just need a tough physical player who plays relentless, who plays with that all gas, no break mantra, that mindset out there. And he's going to bring just that. You look back to the Buccaneers Super Bowl run. I mean, he played through, I can't remember exactly what the injury was, but I know he played through really some tough pain on that Super Bowl run. And, I love that comment, really rising up against the best. And look, you're in a division now with, the Bills, obviously, who are a Super Bowl contender. The Dolphins got some really good skill talent who you're going to have to compete against. So to me, I'm excited. I think you want that type of player who's ready to rise up against the best. And really that's how you make your stamp. That's how you make your impact and your presence felt and known. So, like I said, he's only 25 years old. I think this is a guy who's really just entering his prime years, and I'm really excited to see Whitehead in this defense.
Absolutely. Well, last season with the Buccaneers, he finished with 73 combined tackles, 5 tackles for a loss, and 1 QB hit. Had 8 passes defended, a forced fumble, and he also collected 2 interceptions, tied for his career high that he also had in 2020. So, he can play that strong safety role. He can move into the box. He can do it all. And I think that really stands out, looking at his snap count, where he ends up aligning last year specifically. He spent, 417 total snaps in the box. He spent 162 in slot corner, 451 at free safety. So he's very versatile at the safety position and moving around and playing multiple roles. Only 25 years old, super young, former 4th-round pick from Tampa Bay in 2018, came from Pittsburgh, but played a 1,120, so hold on a second. I'm looking at his 2020 stats by accident. Played 951 snaps last year, 334 in the box, 265 at free safety. So still very versatile, able to play multiple positions. That versatility did not go away in one season, obviously. But that's kind of how I see the Jets using him. Like him and Ashton Davis, they can kind of swap, move back and forth, do a lot of different things there. And I think that will provide a lot of versatility for this Jets secondary and what they try to do. He went on to say, in his comments, that's a big thing in my game, trying to tune up a bit. Sometimes you get so dialed in, you don't pay attention to the ball. It gets you points, gets you wins, but I've had too many dropped interceptions, too many. So obviously that's the thing that he will try to improve upon moving forward is he's so focused on the ball carrier, the quarterback or the receiver. Sometimes he can lose focus of the football, and those turnovers can be the difference in winning and losing football games at the end of the day. So, maybe that's something he needs to improve upon. And obviously the Jets, when they're looking at his contract, they didn't take a huge risk with him, right? Like his first year, it's only a $4.2 million cap hit. They can move on next year without paying him $10.2 million and save pretty much the majority of the deal, save $7 million, whatever it might be, 6 point, whatever. That's a pretty good sign that, the contract he signed is really easily moved on from, and they're not overdoing it. They're not overpaying for a player, but if he ends up balling and he ends up having a really good season, they have him at a pretty good price point at $10.2 million. Any other thoughts about Jordan Whitehead and kind of, what he's going to bring to this defense? I have another quote I will throw out there. How do you think he'll kind of mesh with Ashton Davis?
For sure. So I think Ashton's really the athlete of the two, and he's the guy you really want playing that free safety role. Obviously, you spoke on the contract, and I think the best thing with that is it just incentivizes him to really play well this year to, stay on that deal and keep it. And like you said, with him still only being 25 years old and so young, to me, he's a guy that could be a long-term player, if he really continues to build on what he's done these last 2 years. And to me, like I said, he's that, ideal strong safety that you want. Just he's going to bring an attitude. I feel like him, Jermaine Johnson, DJ Reed, Sauce Gardner, a lot of these additions, like I said, the Jets defense last year just got hit in the mouth so many times, and there was no attitude. There was no will or want to stop. And to me, I think Whitehead is going to be, an exciting addition. He's going to make his impact and his presence felt in the box. And, like you said, if he can really get those turnovers up, the ball production, to me, that really just goes a long way in accentuating his growth and really hitting his ceiling as a player.
Absolutely. So here's another little quote for you guys. Coming in, I really didn't know too much about the Jets safety play. I got here and started watching film of Elijah Riley making plays, Ashton Davis making plays. He's pretty good. We had a great OTA minicamp. We have a lot of smart players, guys like Jason Pinnock, who also could be going in for starting snaps at safety as well, who I played with at Pitt. So he has a relationship with Jason Pinnock, which is nice. He's a corner who moved to safety, and I'm watching him now, being with him every day. He's very smart and knows the game. Once he learns the little things, he'll be able to take it to the next level. Joyner is the veteran in the room. He's been coaching me up, teaching me new things. So obviously they have that really good balance of youth and experience, which I think is a really good sign for this Jets defense that needs to take a step forward in the secondary specifically. Jeff Ulbrich, the Jets defensive coordinator, said, "We are so fortunate to have gotten him. He is an amazing human being. Every day he does something that just lightens me up again. Like, damn, he can do that. He can do that. He can do that." I don't know what his role was in Tampa regarding whether he was a leader or not, but he has absolutely assumed that role here with the fellas. They absolutely gravitate toward him and they follow his lead, and he does a great job of that. It's just rare that you get a guy in free agency like that, because typically when you check all the boxes physically, you check all the boxes from a character standpoint. Teams don't let you go. The fact that we're able to get him is huge. So clearly, like, they're like, I don't understand why Tampa Bay let him go. But they're pretty happy about it, which is a good sign. And Jeff Ulbrich seems to think that he's not only a great human being, but physically he's fantastic. So I think these are all great signs for the Jets' safety position, specifically in the box, and just the versatility they have with Jason Pinnock and LaMarcus Joyner as well. So pretty great there. Do you think that LaMarcus Joyner will end up starting at free safety, or do you think probably he's on the back end, just more of a veteran reserve role?
It's interesting. I've really gone back and forth between him and Jason Pinnock. I think you look at Joyner as the 9-year veteran, a guy with, more proven experience, a guy that's played at a high level in 2017 and 18 with the Rams and in that free safety role. But you just look at Jason Pinnock, he really was inexperienced, and as a rookie makes that transition from outside corner to free safety last year. And he showed some encouraging things. I think his upside is definitely there when you look at size, length, speed, athleticism. Like, he really checks all those boxes physically and athletically. So I think it's really going to be a good competition. Obviously, Joyner's coming off the injury on the wrong side of 30. Pinnock just turned 23. He's gaining more experience now at this new position. So to me, I think it's a coin flip right now. But, to me, it would really go a long way if Pinnock for the long term could prove himself. And the last point I even wanted to make on Whitehead was just the fact that he's cousins with Darrelle Revis is pretty cool. And he was obviously there when the Jets traded up in 2007 to get him. So it's pretty cool that he's following in his footsteps. And I think just another, reason for him to go out there and just give it his all and make his impact felt with the Jets.
Absolutely, guys. But I'd love to hear your perspective below on Jordan Whitehead in the YouTube comments. What you think he's going to bring to this team. Obviously, very solid player, a leader in that group already, and can make an impact. Hopefully that secondary looks a lot better, and that defensive line stands up tall with Jermaine Johnson and Bryce Huff and Carl Lawson and Jordan Franklin Myers, and then you have Quinton Williams. So much good talent there, so much to love, and I'm excited. Training camp's right about to start, and we'll get you guys all the necessary information that you need to keep up to date on this team and enjoy the process with us as we build this community. So much love as always. Make sure to like and subscribe, and we'll catch you guys on the next Fireside Jets episode.